Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? When you watch people fail and you go, oh, okay, I see that in myself.
Yeah.
I just got to not do what that guy's doing. And then also you see the stubborn pig-headedness that some people have where they won't listen to advice. And you could clearly see how they're ruining their lives by not being honest.
Yeah, and sometimes the story that we might have is maybe extreme where you say, I don't do all 6 things they're doing, but I do 2 of them. And they are in sharp relief to me, so I get that. I ain't going to do that anymore. So, I mean, that's where I think you get a payoff. And, people go and find these things on the internet. I mean, last year, we have a channel where we put up, different clips from divorce shows or parenting shows or whatever, and we had over 2 billion views, last year of people just going and finding that information and looking at it. So I know people are seeking the information out and looking at it beyond the show itself. So, they must be seeking information, and we just don't have a good distribution system for mental health in America. So I think they're hungry for it and they look for it.
Well, there's so many people out there that are trying to do better. They're trying to get their lives in order. And, shows like yours and just advice shows, people that are giving out inspiration and knowledge. It's such an important thing for people, especially for people that didn't grow up with wise parents or maybe a good support system around them.
I think that's true. And I grew up with an alcoholic father, and it was a pretty violent home, and he was a really bad alcoholic. And I know, having grown up in that, you wind up with what I call a damaged personal truth, and you feel second class. And the problem that kids make, and because I know I did it, and I see others do it, is you compare your personal truth, what you know about yourself and how you really live and what's really going on. You compare your personal truth to everybody else's social mask. Because you go to school and I know that last night the windows got kicked out of my house. I know that the utilities got turned off, and I know there was a big fight in my kitchen last night. And the kid sitting next to me, he's got on a shirt that's all ironed, and his face is all bright and clean, and he looks like he's just got it all together. And you compare yourself to that kid, and you feel like you're second class. And the problem with that is we generate the results in life we think we deserve. So if you think you're damaged, you think you're second class, you will generate results that you think a second class person deserves. So if you don't fix your personal truth, then you'll spend the rest of your life saying, well, those really good results, those belong for somebody else. That's not for me. That's for somebody else, and you'll settle for second best, and you won't get what you might otherwise generate for yourself if you don't fix your personal truth. And so I think a lot of people are struggling, looking for a way to kind of get out of feeling not good about themselves and damage self-esteem, damage self-worth, and they really don't know where to go. So, and that's why I do the show. I'm not under the misapprehension that we're doing 8-minute cures up there. I mean, come on. We're not doing that. But I think if you can point people in the right direction, if you can raise their awareness, you can get them thinking about it, you can create a narrative where they at least say, how do I feel about myself? I mean, is there stuff I need to resolve? I mean, what am I saying to myself? If you can get them thinking about that, then, maybe you've done something. Yeah,
Tony Robbins once said that it's incremental changes over the long haul, and the way you have to look at it is if these 2 boats are going in a parallel direction and one of them just shifts 5 degrees, over the course of time, this boat is going to be in a far different place than the other boat that's going the same way it was always going.
Yeah, and the important thing to realize as well is the next year is going to go by whether you're doing something about your life or not. I mean, we're sitting here right now at the end of February, and the next 10 months are going to go by whether somebody is working to make change or whether they're not. And they may think, oh my God, I'm so far overweight, I'll never get it under control, or I'm so behind in my bills, or I'm so, just depressed or everything is so out of control. Well, you know what? You make those incremental changes, and then, pretty soon in December you go, hey, I'm way better off than I was at the end of February. So you made little changes, and they all added up. And if you don't, by the end of the year, you're just in deeper. So every little bit matters.
Yeah, I tell people to write things down. I say one of the best ways to get things done is to write things down. Write down what you're trying to get done. Write down what you need to get done on a long-term basis and what you need to get done on a short-term basis. And write off a checklist. Force yourself. Be accountable.
Yeah, the difference between a dream and a goal is a timeline and accountability.
Yeah, accountability is gigantic.
You got to have somebody, whether it's yourself or a friend or somebody that's going to say, look, did you do what you said you were going to do by this time? And if you don't, hold your feet to the fire. Because, just sitting around dreaming someday, someday I'm going to get a different job. Someday I'm going to change this. Well, someday ain't a day of the week. There's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Look on your calendar. Some days not on there. So you got to say, okay, I'm going to take this small step by here, this small step by there, this small step by there. And then pretty soon, we don't leap tall buildings in a single bound. We take it a floor at a time.